Hello everyone and welcome back to another video and welcome to our James Bond spoiler review for No Time to Die. I've now watched the movie, so yes, we can do the spoiler review. And I guess I'll give you quickly my initial reactions of the movie.
Because you watched it yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, because I didn't actually get to give my initial reaction, so I'll just do them now for a minute. It was a really good movie, I think. It wasn't better than Skyfall, and I don't think it was better than Casino Royale, so pretty much exactly the same opinion as you. And then I felt like 2-3 parts of the movie were a bit abrupt, but then, yeah. And aside from that, I didn't really have too many problems with the movie. Yeah, I think we should just get into spoilers.
Yeah, because a lot happens in this movie. I mean, it is 2 hours and 43 minutes, so there's quite a bit to kind of dig through. But we're going to go through the main important parts that are really big for, I guess, the future of the Bond franchise and just in general, what could happen with this movie. So, for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, click off the video now because it's about to get spoilery. So, yeah, I mean, well, where do we start? I guess the first one to start with. Actually, do you want to start with the big one first, or do you want to go build up to it?
Oh, we're gonna do it in order.
We'll talk about the character deaths in order because there's 3 characters that I can remember that are important that died in this movie.
Yeah. Let's do character deaths first.
So the first one, which I was sad about because he's one of my favorite characters, Felix dies in this movie because he gets betrayed by. I forgot the character's
Ash
name.
Something.
Ash, yeah. I think he's played by Billy Magnussen, I think that's the actor's name. And he plays Ash was his name, I think? Or Ashton or something like that.
Ashton or something, yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy who was working with Felix and kind of he was giving off suspicious vibes as well as, man. He's been too happy for my liking. He's been a bit too smiley and very touchy-feely with Bond.
That's exactly what Bond said as well.
And then we find out on the scene after, by the way, one of my favourite action scenes in the movie, the scene in Santiago where Paloma and Bond fight all the I guess they were Safin's agents, right, who were trying to protect
the scene in the forest.
No, the scene in Santiago where
the bar thing.
Yeah, Ana de Armas's character.
Oh, yeah.
And Bond there, yeah. Where obviously they're fighting all the Spectre agents and all that stuff. Well, then I guess they're not Spectre agents at that point, are they? Well, they are actually.
Oh no, they're Spectre agents at that point, yeah. Because that's
they were Spectre agents at that point, and then because the movie story gets a bit complicated, but anyways, that whole fight scene happens, and then they get on a plane to leave Santiago, and then obviously Felix is betrayed by this Ash guy who is, a spoiler alert, a Spectre agent. So he's working for Blofeld, and that's pretty interesting.
His death was good as well. When Bond kills him. No, our Felix is when
Bond
kills. When he gets crushed by the car, because then he says the line where I had a brother and his name was Felix. What's his last name?
Felix Leiter.
Felix Leiter.
Yeah. He was a good character as well. When
does he come in every single one?
Movies. I think the only one he wasn't in was Skyfall, and they mention him in Spectre, but I don't remember if he's in there. I don't think he's in there, but yeah.
No, he's not in Spectre. No, he's not in Spectre.
Yeah, the only one that he wasn't in, he's not mentioned at all or anything, is Skyfall. But yeah, I mean, I think he's in the old movies as well. But yeah, Felix dies. That was a sad death because obviously Jeffrey Wright is A, great actor, and B, he was one of my favourite characters. And I knew the second he said, "Oh, I've got a family I've got to go back to tell them I'm here," I was like, "You're dead. You're gonna die at some point in this movie." Because I thought that was just anytime a character says anything like that, or another thing that happens later, that means they're gonna die. So yeah, Felix dies. That was a sad death.
I think he's one thing I just want to say about Felix. I thought he might die. I didn't even feel like he was going to be in this movie, but I thought he might die when I saw him. Because
did you watch any of the trailers for this movie?
No, I didn't watch him.
Okay,
I just obviously watched all the old movies beforehand, except for Skyfall, because I've already seen it. But I thought he was going to die because he's been one of the most consistent characters, except for M and Q, and obviously M's already dead. And Q's obviously in this movie.
Original M, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
But,
by the way,
yeah.
speaking of M, there was a scene in this movie with an Easter egg, which was pretty cool, where the part where Mallory, or M, or whatever you want to call him, the new M, was
Yeah.
sitting in the chair and he was looking at Judi Dench's M's like portrait.
Yeah.
On the side next to him, you could see a portrait of M from the Sean Connery movies from like back in the day.
Oh,
That was
that's
pretty cool. Yeah, there was quite a few references in this, and even like not even just references, the way this was made as well. Like, for example, at the beginning, which I guess we'll get into the next. This isn't the next in order, but one of the deaths of the characters. It foreshadows the ultimate death of Bond, because obviously that's what happens in the end of the movie. Because at the end, when they did the gun barrel sequence, Bond shoots the screen, but there's no blood, and he fades backwards into the light. So I guess that's kind of them showing that he's not going to live, because he technically missed his target, I guess, because no blood goes on the screen, and also he fades backwards into the light, which is obviously, I guess, his ascent to heaven, I guess. That's the kind of foreshadowing they had there. But yeah, I mean, Bond's death, that's the next big thing, I guess. That was at the end of the movie, I guess.
I think it was bound to happen. Obviously, like we've said before when we were discussing the movie, that none of the old Bonds had died. But I think in this day and age that you have to do something a bit dramatic to grab the audience.
I think it's because they do this in every franchise now. When it ends, someone has to die, and also I think the way that they've done Daniel Craig's Bond, they've kind of humanized him and made him more vulnerable and like less of a indestructible like badass, I guess. Don't get me wrong, he's still badass in this movie and in the previous Bond movies, but I think that they made him more of a human character aside from like kind of different to how he was in the old movies. So they thought they might as well end it. They might as well end it in a way that makes him seem human as well, so that he can actually die. Because obviously Bond's not indestructible.
Because I think in the old movies they've made it out that Bond's like this. It's like quite unrealistic, where obviously loads of people are shooting at him, he never gets hurt, kind of thing, or like he's never like very like damaged for long. But I guess with this Bond, I think like you said, it's a lot more humanized, and I don't know, I kind of like the idea that he never really gets a happy ending.
Well, I guess when he's finally happy, he dies, I guess, so that is in a way his happy ending, I suppose. I think from a certain point of view where he gets to die happy, but I don't know. I
think the one thing that makes it like bearable that he's died, for me at least, is that obviously this is another big thing. He's left a child behind.
Yeah, Bond has a daughter in this movie.
Bond has a daughter that he's had, that Madeline had when obviously he told her to get on the train and leave because he thought she betrayed him. But
one thing I noticed while I've seen as well, when she gets on the train, I don't know if this was like supposed to be foreshadowing that, but she kind of like puts her hand on her stomach. So I was like, oh, okay, is she having a baby? And then obviously
I didn't even notice that actually, because I probably should have like thought that they could have made James Bond have a baby, but it doesn't really like seem like a realistic thing.
I mean, logically, it shouldn't make any sense after what happened to Casino Royale. He got smacked 1,000 times by Le Chiffre with that rope.
Yeah, that's actually true. And even Le Chiffre actually says like after this you won't be able to give like women any children or whatever. He does say something like that.
He says something like that. Yeah. That's true, but. I don't know how that fits. That's the most unrealistic thing in this whole movie to me. That Bond gets to have kids after
you put it now after. I didn't realize that at the time. Yeah, that's actually like really weird. But I think the whole thing with his daughter was like it was. I think it was. It kind of. I don't know. It was unexpected because I don't think like when everyone thinks of like James Bond, they never really expected like give him like a family or anything because he's always just
and. I think this goes all the way in terms of what this whole Daniel Craig Bond era was trying to do, which was trying to make it more of a human character and giving him a family and like having him. I guess they weren't really married, but like having sort of like a wife in a way and like a
partner. Yeah.
They have humanized him a lot, which I like that. I think it makes him a more interesting character. But it does the classic thing where as soon as a character gets a child, that means they're gonna die. Because, it's Iron Man gets a kid, he dies. Wolverine gets a kid, he dies. Han Solo gets a kid, he dies. It happens in, like, everything. If a character who hasn't had a child in, like, the previous movies gets one in what's supposed to be their last movie or towards the end or something like that, they're going to die.
Yeah.
It's all but confirmed. So yeah, I guess it
'cause
does do that classic thing where the person gets a child and they die, but
I think that, like, obviously you lot don't know this, but I read the spoilers for the movie beforehand because I was like reading an article and I wasn't really too fussed because I'm not a massive Bond fan. I like the movies, but I wouldn't call myself like a diehard Bond fan, so I wasn't really too fussed. And so obviously I went into the movie knowing that he was gonna die, and when they introduced the child, I was like, this makes sense why he dies now.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
this is all
yeah.
leading to him dying, and then it just all made sense. But one thing I want to talk about is his death scene. I've been saying this to you constantly. I feel like it was a bit abrupt. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
Sid
'cause
was
of-
saying the same thing to me. Shout out to Sid, for those of you who don't know Top Man Sid. He's been on the channel before, and even he was saying to me, because he didn't like the ending of this movie. He hates it that Bond dies because he said that it's like he doesn't think, no matter what this kind of like circumstances are, he doesn't think Bond should die because it's like it kind of, which I understand. He said it takes away from the kind of like escapism of it. Where it's like he said, especially even after COVID, where like we've all had this depressing year, and they just pile more depressing stuff, where like all the characters are dying and stuff like that. So I do understand what he's saying, but I personally liked it. But if people were annoyed that Bond died, I can sort of understand it.
I think people, especially people who like fans of the old, like we said this again the other day, the people who the fans of the old Bond movies, they probably weren't expecting him to die because they do make Bond to be like this indestructible spy, and it's kind of a bit unrealistic at times. But obviously, like, I like it because it obviously humanizes the character. But I think I've got like now just thinking about it, I kind of think that him not dying to like Spectre, the thing that's been like behind everything the whole time, him dying to what's Rami Malek's character's name?
Safin, yeah.
So yeah,
that's a sign. That's a sign of how good that character was, I guess. Well, not really how good he was, but
he wasn't really highlighted, and he had to die to that character. But then again, he also died.
Well, I guess he sort of died on his own terms, didn't he? Because,
I guess so. I did like the thing at the end. I did like the thing at the end where he sort of poisons him, so he can't go back to the family. So now he's like, basically, you have to die.
It's kind of poetic in a way where like. I guess they haven't really said this before, but it's kind of that thing where everything that Bond touches or gets involved with, something bad happens to it and gets killed, and now he literally can't, like, even Safin says to him, you can't touch your wife or your child ever again. So it's like, that's kind of poetic in a way, I guess, that he can't, like, he literally can't go near them now, otherwise he's going to kill them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
I don't know, because there's one other problem where I have, like, it's that little problem. He dies because of, like,
the missile strike.
Yeah, because of the missile strike as well, not, like, because of, like, anything else. I don't know if the missile strike was the right way to do it. That's one thing I think. But, yeah, the scene, obviously, was really abrupt. I want to just, like, expand on that. It was obviously, because it's a missile strike, so you just see the whole island explode. Then you see that obviously Bond get taken out by a rocket, and it doesn't really linger on any of the characters at all. Like, it lingers on them beforehand when he's talking to Madeline. He doesn't actually speak to his child, which I thought was a bit weird as well. Like, he could have said like, oh, put I don't even know what the child's name was, man.
Matilda, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Matilda or Matilde?
I think
I guess it's a French name, so it's...
When Safin was saying it, he was saying Matilde, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's a French name, so I guess that's why it's like pronounced slightly differently.
He could have said, oh, put her on the thing and put the earpiece in her ear and then said something. Well, I don't even think she understands English, does she? But,
well, she understood him when he was talking to her earlier.
Oh, so. That's true, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, with the apple slices part. I thought that part was good. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie, but yeah, I don't know.
This whole movie I thought was really good. Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole abrupt thing, but it's not the same thing. But my counter argument to that is M was a huge character from Casino Royale to Skyfall, and the way they did her death, they have the scene afterwards where Bond talks to Moneypenny on the roof, and she gives him the dog and all that, and then it just like goes to the part where he goes and talks to the new M, and then the movie ends. So I guess maybe it's a similar sort of thing, where they wanted. I mean, I know he's the main character, so it's slightly different, but they have a scene afterwards where M and Moneypenny and Q are there, like, and Nomi as well, and then they're having a drink, and then they say that I think Mallory says I should say a few words, and then he says something, and then I think he reads a quote from the Bible or something like that.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, and then
they do that, and then they have the scene where Madeline's kind of there, and she says to her daughter, "I'm going to tell you like a story about a man. His name was Bond, James Bond," and then the movie ends, which I guess is cool. They ended it with the same words that ended the first movie.
Didn't you know the part where they're driving with Aston Martin? Isn't that like the exact same recreation from the scene in the first movie? The first scene, I swear it is.
From what do you mean?
I swear the first scene in Casino Royale is legit Bond driving the Aston Martin that exact same place.
No. It was supposed to be similar to the beginning of the movie, I think, of No Time to Die, when him and Madeline are driving. So I think that's the same place, isn't it?
Yeah, I missed that because the people at the cinema. That's a difference.
Yeah. Go on. Do you want to tell your story?
Yeah, there's people in the line. Yeah, we were getting food. There's people in the. We weren't even gonna miss it. There's people in the line, and there's a woman asking about like the flavors of the Tango Ice Blast and the bloody
dissecting the entire
all
menu.
the nacho sauces and stuff, and it was really like even her husband was getting annoyed with her. I don't know. That's like a different problem though. Yeah, let's carry on.
Yeah, but. Then they end it with... The one thing I thought was a little bit weird was they didn't end it with the James Bond theme. I mean, I understand why, because I think Sid was saying to me that song they used at the end is from one of the older Bond movies, which maybe I just missed. But, I thought it would have been cool if they ended it with the James Bond theme one last time, but I understand why they didn't do that. It kind of makes sense. But, yeah, his death scene, I thought the way they handled his death was good, and, like, even his last line where she's like... I love you, and he's like, I love you too, and then she says that she's got your eyes, talking about the kid, which was obvious from the start, even when she was saying that it's not yours, it's like, yeah, she is. I mean, you can tell just by looking at her, but, Bond says, I know, and then he kind of, like, accepts his fate and blows her, but, I thought that the way they handled his death and character in this movie was good. I know some people don't like it, but I mean, it's understandable, but I disagree. I think it was handled well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's a really like controversial thing though. Like loads of like people are really
people
split
were
on
saying
it.
This is like the Last Jedi of Bond movies, which I guess just shows how rabid Star Wars fans are. I doubt Bond fans are going to be like dissecting this movie and ripping it apart until the next one comes out, and for years after that, like Star Wars fans do with the Last Jedi to this day. But.
I think Bond fans are a bit more laid back than
more
Star
civil
Wars
about it.
But yeah, talking away from the deaths now, I guess let's get on to some good scenes, like some action scenes and stuff. But I think I guess favorite...
the only other death I wanted to talk about was Blofeld, where Blofeld dies.
Oh yeah, actually, let's talk about Blofeld's whole character because I think that was done like, way better in this movie.
Blofeld was better in this movie than he was in the entirety of Spectre, which was supposed to be his movie, but somehow he was better in this. And just Spectre in general, I think this was kind of like what Skyfall was to Quantum of Solace, where it was just like a better I mean, obviously Skyfall isn't a better version of Quantum of Solace, it's like a completely different animal compared to that. But I think this just like did everything that Spectre should have done and does it a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I think Blofeld's like legit. It's like what 8-9 minutes in this movie is better than his whole like 50-60 minutes in Spectre, and
too long with this whole bloody cuckoo thing. And I mean, he still calls.
Well, they brought Cuckoo back. They brought Cuckoo back.
But it wasn't as bad as like where he was making it. Well, not making it out. They literally said that he was behind like the entire series, and that Silver and Green and Le Chiffre and all they were working for Spectre. I thought that was just stupid, but.
I get the only one that really didn't make sense was the Silver one.
Yeah, that was just dumb. Because I could understand the other two, but yeah, the Silver one just makes no sense at all. But I think that the way he died, I think, was pretty interesting. Obviously, where Madeline gives Bond the it was called Heracles or something like that.
Heracles, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was, like that infection thing where the one that M made, where it only kills certain people, and I thought that scene was pretty cool, where like he interrogates him, but then he was going to kill him anyway, but then he stops and then ends up killing him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get. You know, one thing I don't get. Why did Safin want to kill Blofeld?
I I don't know.
Exactly.
That's a good question.
He
I guess he just wanted to get him out of the picture.
He says to Madeline, "I need you to do a favor for me," and then Madeline basically just does it. But I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I guess it's because he killed all the other Spectre agents earlier in the movie. But
True.
Then I don't know. Maybe
It might have been something to do with his garden, but I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know.
Also, one other thing which I didn't get as well, since we're talking about like things we don't bloody understand. The bomb doors. Why did they close?
The silo doors. Oh, Safin must have closed them.
Because legit. Oh yeah, maybe actually yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Are you on about when at the end when Bond goes and gets the plushy rabbit and he's gonna like climb out?
Yeah, and then they close.
Yeah.
And then he does.
Safin close them.
Oh yeah, that's probably because I was thinking, did they just close because of like a malfunction or something? But then if they did, why didn't they just open again after Bond did it? But
yeah, because when Bond was running to go and close them again, he gets shot by Safin loads. Well, that's one thing. Everyone has a lot of plot armor in this movie. I'll say that. Like at the beginning, the scene that you missed, Safin gets like shot about 5 times by Madeline, like little girl Madeline with the pistol. Well, not even 5. He gets like a whole round put into him, like a whole clip, and then he just doesn't die. He just gets back up like nothing happened. And then at the end, Bond gets shot loads and he doesn't die either.
I was looking forward to that scene as well. I'm still annoyed about that.
When he had the mask.
Yeah. Because that's the only part I remember from the trailer.
Maybe Venom will make up for it. I'd say.
Oh, that's a whole different story, man.
Yeah.
But, the plot armor thing, is a bit, but that's like the whole thing with James Bond. Everyone gets shot like 5 million times. Like the bloody thingy, Vesper's grave blows up in front of Bond. He doesn't die.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
I like that part. I like that part. You know the part where he goes
that
to
whole
the grave?
action scene at the beginning was really good. Like when he's using all the gadgets on the Aston Martin. That's the sort of thing that people come to see Bond for, where it's like all the crazy over-the-top gadgets where he's like shooting out the things that were like blowing up all the cars and stuff, and then shooting, like spinning around, shooting the guns out of the front. That was really cool.
That scared the bloody crap out of me. You know the part where the grave blew up?
Oh, was it jump scared you?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it to explode. I thought it was going to be a card. He was going to read the back of the card when he picked it up. He picked up the card and it just blew up. And I was like, oh, okay. But, I really liked that scene because it was like letting go, but the grave exploded in his face. I mean, I don't know. That whole scene was weird. But one thing that is in this scene, and it's like in the whole movie, which I found a bit weird, but he was okay. The cyborg guy, what would they call him? Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he might be. Hold on, I want to look this up.
He was like the Mr. Hinks of this movie.
Yeah, or like the Jaws or whatever you want to call him. Hold on, I'm pretty sure he's from the old movies. I'm gonna look this up now. Hold on.
Yeah, because his whole thing was a bit weird at the start, but I liked his death scene where his eye blows up because of the watch. And I liked how they brought the watch thing in again from Spectre. How the watch is a concussion grenade, but now in here it's like an EMP device. I think Q says
in the watch.
In the watch, yeah, because that's what kills. What ultimately kills Cyclops.
He overloads his eye, and also they do like the classic James Bond thing where they have like the one-liners where it's like when he blows up his eyes, like someone was a bit mind blown by your watch or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then also like when Nomi says to that doctor guy, "Do you know what time it is?" And then she says, "Time to die." And then she pushes him into the.
Oh right, yeah.
That scene was kind of funny. Let me look. Was it? Hold on. Okay, I don't think he's from the old movies, but he seems like the sort of villain who would be, so I guess that's a good sign. But yeah, the movie was really good. I thought.
One thing I want to discuss is that one of my favorite scenes of the movie, which links to the one we talked about before, was that Ashton guy's death. The whole that forest scene where it was like really foggy and the.
Oh yeah, that was cool. The action
I don't think there was.
Really
I don't think there was any bad action scenes. To be fair,
the other one I really liked was where he was going up the stairs and it was all like kind of one, like it was made to look like it was one shot. It was like the camera was just panning around Bond as he was going up the stairs, killing everyone. That was
this
really
movie
cool.
was just really good
towards the end. And then also the scene. I know, yeah. Also the scene where he like comes out of the. This was on like loads of the trailers, but where he like comes out of the door and he points at the camera and shoots the guy. Where it looked kind of like that gun barrel, but that was cool. But all the action in the movie is good. Yeah, I just thought this was a solid movie. I mean, as I said, I can understand why some Bond fans might be a bit annoyed with certain things. And obviously at the end, James Bond will return, so we are going to get another Bond.
It's going to be his child, man.
It's
going to be his
universe. But, yeah, No Time to Die was a lot better than that movie, and it was a lot better than Quantum of Solace. It wasn't quite as good as Casino Royale.
I think it's a good, solid ending, and I definitely can see why it was some people's movie of the year, like you said, your movie of the year so far.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking it's either this Suicide Squad or Zack Snyder's Justice League so far. Venom's going to be a load of bloody arse, man. That's all I know.
Because if the other two
that
come
could
back,
be it, yeah.
The Holy Trilogy.
Yeah. Life's all right then.
There's not really any other contenders for this year.
We'll have to wait and see for that. So yeah, if you guys have seen No Time to Die, I hope you have. Otherwise, we just spoiled the whole thing for you. But if you have, let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Be sure to hit the like button for more videos. To share this video around. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Look forward to our Venom review coming soon, because we're going to go see that on Saturday at last, because Sony decided to release it late in the UK. Bloody Sony, just screwing us as usual. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out our Instagram and Twitter, links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. See ya.